Hello, and in this training video, we will cover the patient dashboard buttons. Starting in the patient summary screen, you have a number of different buttons. Starting from the left, you have a quick view button. Selecting this button will open a quick view of the patient. Within this quick view, you have the patient's photograph. You can take an image from a webcam, upload an image. Some people use this for driver's license photos. Magnify the image, or remove the image. Below that, you have some additional information like dominant hands, eyes, and driver's license information. Here, you have patient categories. These can be personalized for your office to notate different patient categories. There are a few that are pre-built within Revolution EHR, but like I said earlier, you can completely customize these for whatever you would like. Patient categories are a great way to categorize the patients and get reports for specific patients. Below that, you have employment statuses, positions, and employers. This general notes area is a place that you can put notes about that patient that stays internal. I'm going to go ahead and add in a note now. Whenever you change or add anything, you want to make sure to click Save. Before we click Save, I want to show you one more feature. In the top, there is an information icon. You can click on this to get information about the patient from their demographics pod. Now we can go ahead and select Save in the lower right. The next button we have is our Message button. If this patient has a PHR login, you will see this Message button. If they do not have a PHR login, you will not have this button. Selecting the button will open up a message that you can send a patient directly to their patient portal. You can send attachments if you'd like, including intake forms. This is a great place to type or copy and paste any information you'd like to send to the patient. Our next button is Add Task. This will add a task specific to the patient. You'll need to fill in all of the information with a red asterisk. In this case, we'll need to select a category, and you'll need to put a description. On the right-hand side, you can select an assign to. You can select an individual person or a specific role as necessary. We're going to click Save and Close. Now that we've created that task, we're going to go on to the next button. The next button is Book Appointment. Selecting this will preload the patient's details within an appointment in the schedule. From here, if you're using slots, you can select a slot to use that, or you can put the appointment on the schedule on the fly. To navigate back, you're just going to select your patient module. The next button is a Notes button. This again is the internal notes from the quick view. Notice here we have two notes already in our notes pod. These notes are part of the patient's chart. This notes is that general note we just added. This is an internal area for you to put notes specific to the patient. You can add anything extra and select Update. That will add the note here as well as back in our quick view. The next button is our Record Summary button. If you select this, you can generate a record summary for the patient. The first thing you want to do is ensure you select your Save To by expanding your root folder. Your folders may be completely different from mine. These are completely customizable to the office. I'm going to select where I would like this to be saved to. And on the right-hand side, I can add or remove any information from that record summary and click Generate. Here is the record summary I generated for that patient. I can close this to go back to the patient. The next button is our Communicate button. Selecting this will let you generate a patient letter to the patient. Your Select Template dropdown pulls from your admin area, and you have some pre-built ones already added from Revolution EHR. You will notice a few new ones that I have added directly to my office. You can select the letter you would like to generate. You can select a recipient. It can go directly to the patient, an external provider if necessary, and like our other screen, where you'd like this to be saved to. When you select Generate, it will create that letter that you can print and send to the patient. If you don't want to print this and you want to work on it later, you can click Save as Draft, and it will become a task for later. I'm going to go ahead and close this letter. The next button is your Print button. This Print button will give you the patient information sheet directly for this patient. Here it loads the demographic information, employment status, insurance information, account information, any upcoming scheduled dates and last exam dates, and additional information. The only areas that are customizable within this are the additional information and whether or not you want policy information to show here. Mine is selected to not show, so this is minimized. Another dashboard button you have is on the very far upper right. This is your full screen button. With any patient selected, you can select full screen to minimize other areas of the application, mainly that header bar. When you have this expanded to full screen, you will notice you get an ellipsis with those buttons we just talked about. You can exit full screen by selecting the button again. Even though this is not a dashboard button, I would still like to talk about it. On the far upper left, you have your Show More menu. This is collapsible by selecting the arrow to the left to minimize that as well. This concludes our video on the patient dashboard buttons. Please remember to use our knowledge base and contact us for additional assistance.